I didn't see a lot of critical thinking, but I found very nice all these different topics, especially on these new technologies that I'm a little bit strange to it, even if I have phone, computers and everything, But and about when they talk about the digital generation, I found quite nice. No, I saw some very nice people, and I like really. It's very well organized, and it's really a great job about that. And I'm very happy to be part of it. Yeah. For now, to be honest with you, I still have to think about, but for example, yesterday there was a lady from Israel. She talks about bilingual, the fact that language could be learned when you are already 3 months old, and that's something that struggles me a little bit. And but I guess yes, some very interesting idea as well about genders and stuff that I heard. So yeah, I will have some ideas I get to go back. Yes, okay. So first, I like the fact that critical thinking is based on philosophy, because it's a way we use it. So it's less, I would say, less pragmatic, less American, but more based on some, I would say, more Occidental, Western philosophy. And what is it? It's really the ability of thinking to be able to have reflective thinking, to be able to think a perspective and its opposite, to see the limitation, to see some contradiction, to be able to reflect on oneself with the help of the others, and also as well with the world, because we are living in this world. So it's how really to deal with yourself with the help of the others, and be able to think what you think and what you cannot think. We put it as well, like, when the kids has some Lego, he makes some things, and when it's almost done, you totally put it back again and you do it again. Thinking is just about that, construct, disconstruct, It's really this ability, which means to have a lot of flexibility, Or like when you have a piece of earth or a piece of clay, you do something with it. And you go out from the opinion to something more built, more constructed. First, the adults have to learn about it. Because of course, usually what happens, I work a lot with parents and educators, and they don't know how to deal with that. Usually it's more, do this, do this. Okay, why you didn't do your homework? Because of this, why? No, that's not discussion, it's more like imposing something. When you want to have this critical thinking with kids, whatever your teacher or parents, you must be able to ask some, I would say, good question, relevant question. You have to get interest in the kids, not based on yourself, but based on the person you are talking with. And it's very difficult, also to put aside your emotions, because here we deal with reasons. And in Russia, for example, where emotion is so strong, especially on women, I saw that. So it's how to deal with that, it's quite difficult. But first, the adults have to work on themselves. Okay, for example, if you tell me I love my parents very much. Okay, so I will just ask you, do you love your parents very much all the time? So already start to think about it. When will there be any time when your parents bother you? For example, imagine they punish you if you are a kid, What will happen? Do you still love them at this time or not? And is it still always the case? Did you think about the consequences? What is your responsibility here? What are the reasons? So by doing this, so you're going to go to clarify, to deepen the mind, just by asking simple questions. Like one question is not 3 questions at the same time. Like usually, earlier a lady, but I said it's already two questions with one you have already an answer. That's not a real question. It's really how to make simple question, to wait for the answer, and to go on and to go deeper and deeper, and to show some limits and contradiction. Like, is it always the case? If they punish you, for example, will you still love your parents? Yeah, I love my parents, but and if you are hungry, what happens? And you see how it just simple way already how to start. The goal, I don't know, but what? Oh yes, I know. It will be awareness. You know, I believe about this self-consciousness that everyone has, and because I like the idea, by the way, to think is to have a dialogue with yourself. You know, before the other, it's already with yourself. You know, like you are. Sometimes you want to eat all these big cakes, but you know, if you eat it, you will be sick tomorrow. So you have this little conflict in yourself. So this dialogue first, and then with the others, like mirrors. You know, when I talk to you, maybe I learn something from myself, like you will learn something, but something I know already. How can I reflect about it? For me, it's not opposed at all, you know. When we do critical thinking, we use creativity, you know. It's very important. For example, I ask you a question, you don't? You said, I don't know. I said, do you want to know? Yes. Okay, so no. I said, use your imagination and trying, for example, to put you at the place of your colleague and try to imagine what will he answer. That can be a possibility. Another one is, for example, when I imagine I work on identity with a group of people, I say, now you're going to take a piece of paper and a pen and you're going to draw what is identity for you. You take this concept, you put it in a drawing. So we use it, you know, as well, but we're going to use clay, we're going to use painting, we're going to make interview with people. For example, one day I work on justice with a myth of Plato with 10-year-old kids. It was very nice. And I said, now we're going to go in the street, you're going to make interview. I said, you do it the way you wish, but we work on justice. Imagine the question you can ask the people, how you can do it. Imagine as well, you are a journalist and you must interview people. Okay, think about it and you do it your way after we discuss about it. So, of course, but after it's what you do with this creativity. If it's just to do nonsense, you know, but even from nonsense, you can go and make sense for it. So, that we can use, of course, like we can use anything, you know. For example, I give you a camera to kids, say, what do you do with that, you know? I will say it's the same approach, but there is something, the kids are more flexible. The kids, they found more fun. The kids, they like when you try to dig on them, to see some contradictions, you know, because they think that at least there is one adult who get interested in himself. With the adults, it's complicated. So, maybe why is bothering me now with this question, you know? And you know, fear of losing face, of looking stupid or whatever. So with the same method, with the same question, you find something different. Flexibility on children, teenagers getting more difficult, but with adults, you know, more rigidity, like we have image to defend. But the methodology is exactly the same. Sometimes I can use color box story, Russian tale, with kids, as well with a big bunch of business people, you know. It's what comes out of it. Something new? That's even, you know, behind the, I will say, poker face of people, there is always a human being. So it's something really I'm learning. Can I tell you something? Maybe you won't like it, but the first time I came in Russia 9 years ago, I found people more like this, you know, and you have to, but now I found more you know, already more, with more smiling. So I don't know what happens, but I think also the way we deal with people makes a difference, you know. Even with the people like this, if you know, you're a little bit tricky, you know, like the vixen in the Russian tale, you know, maybe you can get something. And so I learn that every day, and even now I'm still learning, so I'm very happy about it. Oh, yes, you know, the book that my colleague with whom I've been working for almost 30 years just was written a long time ago, but has just been translated into Russian and has been published. Now my colleague can show it to you. So it will be a very good way, because it's the name, I don't know in Russian, but it's how to philosophize with children from kindergarten and primary school, but believe me, it's for everyone. Because you can use it as an adult, so it's very theoretical. And there is as well a book which I'm also the co-author, very proud of it. It's Russian Tales that we took, because I read many stories of Afanasiev, and I really love this literature. And with two colleagues, one French and one Russian colleague, we work on these tales, analyze them, and make questions. So it's a good way to have a discussion with people, and they are in Russian, just coming out, so I'm very happy about it. My colleague has them with her, yeah. If I have a huge experience, but I will say be a real teacher, you know, really, it's really. I don't know what will happen in the next 20 years with all this new technology and the fact that the kids, they learn very quickly, but we will always need teachers. But the teachers have to reconcile with what is it to be a teacher. Is it only to teach some subject, or is it as well how to have a relation with the person they teach? There is a huge responsibility, and sometimes they forget about it, you know. So for me, it will be really the main issue, how to really have a real dialogue that can make advance both the children growing up really in the mind, and as well themselves.